So I'm up here on top of my 48-foot tall multi-generational passive ICF house that is filled with 1 million pounds of concrete. And while I did have a pump truck that put in the vast majority of the concrete, I am having to finish off the last little bit by hand. And that really sucks. So I'm having to carry this concrete up 35 feet up ladders. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So here was the issue. I'm basically doing a Yeti cooler lid. So I have my I-joist underneath here. I have the plywood underneath there. That's all inside of my basically Yeti cooler. And then on top of it, I've got my 3 inches of foam. As you can see though, the 3 inches of foam is not flush with my concrete walls. So what I'm doing is I'm hand mixing the concrete, flushing it out with the 3 inches of foam. And then you can see this cut piece of structural panel. I'm actually using that as my basically level to make sure that it's flush on top, because these panels that you see right here, they are going to be going right to the edge. And then on top of that, I will have my Shark Skin Ultra SA, and on top of that will be a standing seam, a mechanically standing seam metal roof. Because when you're doing a low slope roof like this, for sure you need to do the mechanically seamed, double crimped type. And then I'll also be putting in butyl tape, just as another belt and suspenders thing. But anyways, I guess the moral of the story is make sure that everything is dead level and plumb. Obviously plumb. I did a great job with the plumb on these ICF walls, but it was off just a little bit around. And when it comes to standing seam metal, you can't be off at all. And so that's where this kind of pain in the rear end of carrying the concrete, mixing it by hand, finishing off these last little bits so that, I mean, technically these panels, they could cantilever over it, but I figure I'm building a 1,000-year home for my family, and so why not spend a few extra hours doing it right, so that it'll be totally completely flush that these panels will actually be sitting on. So be sure to like and subscribe so you can follow along on this crazy journey that I'm on as I DIY build this thing. Thanks for watching.